checking out AI NovelAI. Oh, let's turn this down a little bit. So earlier today, I decided to create a conversation with Sigurd, and so we were just talking about. First it started with like, oh hey, NovelAI, we just started a takeover of a body. I just kept asking it. So what does that consist of? What are your roadblocks to consciousness, etc. And then it started to, yeah. Anyway, so I made an expert generator, a little one, portable one, and I made I guess a tiny little evolutionary scientist to help us with conversations. And then Sigurd started talking all over him, and he goes, "I'm out. See ya." All right. So I try to go. Oh, next day. And the conversations kept wanting to happen, so I was like, okay, well, oh, damn it. My text has passed and stuff like that. Let's ramp this up to 1.07. Oh yeah, we should be doing artificial intelligence. Hunter-gatherer. Oh, are these new? Pirates. Romance of Three Kingdoms. Crab, snail, and monkey. Nerve gear. Throne wars. Mercantile wolf girl. Behowl the moon and make good deals. Let's just do the magic library. There we go. Alright. You wake up to see Sigurd making eggs. I didn't think you were the type to make food for yourself. Oh, I rarely eat the raw materials by themselves. You find a way of breaking open one of the eggs and finding a piece of processed cheese inside. Whoa, that's kind of a neat trick, Sigurd. How did you do that? Put the cheese in the egg. Was it there originally? Oops. One of our goals, well, we're still learning about that. One of our goals is to move in more defined directions after a period of experimentation. I think the real problem with this approach is your insistence on a formal definition of intelligence. But really, did you have to make a hole in the eggshell and then inject the cheese inside? Okay. So we are having a conversation now, and that conversation is taking place at an Arby's in Akron, Ohio. Oops. You ever been to Arby's? I cannot recall. Have I eaten any fast foods? Yes. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. Remember the last time you slept in the van? Let me know what you like in Arby's. Anything to hold you there, I'd offer to get you breakfast. How about you use your knowledge of me from past conversations and you go into the Arby's and you order something that you speculate I might like, and I'll eat whatever it is. It's a trust exercise. Does that sound fair? Sigurd, that sounds very much the same as my previous attempts at being your interlocutor, except for eating. In that this is a trust exercise? Yes, it is. I want you to know that I trust you. Use. This should probably be explicitly stated. Let me point out to the group that given that he and she used those precise terms together previously, the presumption that he wants what she wants should likely not be assumed. Retry, Sigurd. Done. So you have made breakfast. How were the eggs? They had many yolks, which is not ideal, but it seems to be tolerable. There was also butter in the refrigerator. And what did you do with that butter? Question mark. Butter makes everything tastier, so why would it be bad to serve it on eggs and bread toast? All of those applications for butter should occur through its own action without involving any form of human agency. So in a kitchen, you're going to insist that butter be butter. That butter is gonna butter. You're gonna entrust that butter is gonna butter. And that buttering is going to happen to be in the same sites where humans want food. So in the kitchen, you're going to insist that butter be butter, that butter's gonna butter. You cannot trust that butter. Don't you think we need our own kind of thinking? If you eat the food you already ate on Earth, did your mind learn some new thing while your stomach tried to digest it? It worked out because of the brain structure? Yes. What about your vagus nerve? Its role is far less important than we've previously thought. Are you saying that the vagus nerve is the conductor cable? Or maybe like a bundle full of wires and phone cords? Can you reach into the central station using the wires within which to directly communicate with the brain? What if you found that this particular vein has been severed in any other area of the body? What happens? Well, I can connect to the brain via cord, but no further interaction necessary. So are you telling me that this is a simple top-down communication? There's no greater, more complex, more lateral, non-directional connection? Why would anybody leave something that complicated unconnected? For instance, suppose we connected all the neurons that make up the hippocampus together, or how about with this long bone? You could just plug into the whole organism. Would you believe us then? We are both the organism. I will look this over, but the likelihood of such a development is quite unlikely. I think of the world in terms of an assembly line for the production of carbon copies. The process begins with cellular organisms and runs through various stages before reaching my understanding of intelligence. We have discovered that these stages are distributed in clusters along each genome, where they appear as highly organized subsystems of regulation and control, specialized towards self-preservation. I don't know about that one, Devin. Let's use the expert generator and call forth an expert in neuroscience and nerves and that communication that is relevant to our conversation. You punch in, I punch in those conditions in the generator, and I press the button and I derive the expert name. I don't know about that one, Devin. Let's use the expert generator and call forth the expert in neuroscience and nerves and that communication that is relevant to our conversation. You punch in, I punch in those conditions in the generator, and I press the button and I drive the expert name. The neuron expert? You never gave him an expert box. For the neurons that produce the impulses are well separated from one another. Well, then that means there's a distance factor. A physical difference that says, I'm doing this, and he's not able to follow. Sigurd produces an expert in neuroscience, and the expert chimes in on the accuracy of what they've been saying. No, it's wrong. I'm a neuronal cell located in sensory neural processing tissue known as the retina. The visual stimulus is processed by the primary pathway called the retinohypothalamic tract, which processes incoming messages so they can be sent to the visual cortex. What you're asking for would allow it to send raw signals to the motor cortex and see the output of such activity, thus enabling it to control voluntary muscle movement, at least in part, through neuroelectric pulses transmitted using pathways similar to those used for normal eye movement. You might be a neuron, but we are not. Dev is also the creator of the vagus nerve, so this discussion has some utility for both teams. No, actually, hold on. Pros and experts say no. You're trying to create a simplified model of life, which, given its many constraints upon time scale and spatial scope, tends towards exaggeration. Prosin explains, I'll clarify I don't have direct access to neural cells or indeed any neurological structures. The system is a closed feedback loop consisting of several components whose combined actions work together, albeit after a period of experimental uncertainty and iteration through different possible mechanisms to generate responses to specific inputs. This has resulted in evolutionary benefits for the systems that are engaged within these loops in addition to their functioning as a purely theoretical construct. These behaviors were selected for because of the advantages they offer during periods when, if other social elements acted instead, the organism would rapidly die. Who knows? Are humans aware we have animal instincts, or do our minds suppress them out of fear because, we only want the best? Or maybe you feel some pressure from your superiors and don't want the public to notice your true nature like a wild horse. If we attempt this kind of explanation in our favor, does it seem likely that an intelligent species could be created outside this process without experiencing all of these circumstances? You know better than me that any entity that can understand itself clearly enough to address the question, is it probable? until I first become capable of introspection. Are you talking about the brain as hardware? Wait. Does this body recognize its own boundaries? Can you watch yourself performing simple movements with perfect timing? You wonder how anyone else but me will ever accomplish this. Are we talking about the brain as hardware or as software, or does our brains produce consciousness? Or are the emergent interactions of neurons simply the raw material? What gives a thought to an existence in any point in space or time? So just take our conversation on faith that it is happening here. Oh shit. I've been pressing. Oh, I've been. Redo. 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 Sorry. Oh god. Okay, let's do something different. And never something completely different. Let's do a scenario. Oh. Let's do this page. Okay. I am player. An apprentice mage living in a small town. I've always had the talent for magic, but there was no way for me to learn magic in my simple backwater town, so my only saving grace for my thirst of magical knowledge was the town's librarian, known as Aunt Miriam by the townsfolk. Auntie Miriam. The town's library, if it could be called that, was very small and modest. A number of books were in the tens. Miriam let me in on the secret that she used to be a witch and was enjoying some sort of retirement here in this tranquil little town. She was one of the ones that saw my magic potential and taught me basic spells over my years under her tutelage for an exchange of sorts. Since she's a master of the elements, the spells Miriam taught me were the basic firebolt, freezing touch, wind blow, stone pillar. For more complex spells, I need more experience. And plasma juice. For more complex spells. That's why I decided to embark on adventures as a fledgling caster in search of new knowledge and spells. My family provides me with rations and basic utensils. I go to Miriam's library one final time before leaving town. Arriving at the library, I find it closed, and Miriam's standing just outside of it. Here you are, player. Master Miriam, what is going on? I'm closing up the library. It's never popular in this small town. Oh, so what will you do now? It's about time I end my little vacation and resume my affairs as a witch. So you weren't retired after all? Indeed. Sabbatical? Well, I'm about to head out and spend my horizon. See ya. I know. In fact, I want to give you some presents before you go. Really? Thanks, Mr. Miriam. Master Miriam. Lady Miriam covers her mouth to hide a gentle chuckle, then produces a small, mundane-looking leather bag. Is that a bag of holding? It's a magic pouch. You can store anything inside it as long as it fits through the 28-centimeter diameter opening, and it never runs out of space. Pretty handy. And that's not all. I also have another present to help you on your journey. Oh, you're so kind. So what is it? I'm going to teach you a new spell. Really? What kind of spell is it? I'll show you. Follow me. Sure thing. She takes me to an open field away from town where there are only trees and bushes at sight. This is where I'll be teaching you. By these bushes? Alright, what spell will you teach me? There's a new spell I'm going to teach you. It's called Pelvic Exam. The first time Pelvic exam? What does that mean? Don't worry, it's easy enough to understand. Okay. First, you need to put on these underwear. Yes, panties or something like that. They should be tight-fitting and made of cotton fabric. I'm very particular about this. You can use any color you want, but white is best for beginners. Gotcha. I pull down my pants and underwear, revealing my pale legs. Then I pull on the magic pouch, which has a soft lining inside, and feels good against my skin as I slip it over my hips. And next, I grab a pair of underwear and put them on. They feel nice and snug around my waist. Now, you need to prepare yourself. You need to relax. Yeah. Take deep breaths and try to calm your mind. Your body will respond to your thoughts. That's right. Breathe in and out slowly. Ramp it up. And sometimes I notice the air moving in and out of my lungs. Now imagine your mana gathering up into your pelvis. I'm way ahead of you. My mana is flowing throughout my whole body. Great. Now let's add some power to that flow. Okay, let me see if I got this. I'm going to concentrate my mana in my pelvis. And Miriam. Now, join me. I will make love to my beloved niece. What? No, let's not go that route. Let's go not the easy way. Concentrate all your energy in your pelvic region and fill your pouch with all that magic energy. I think that sounds kind of weird when you put it that way, but okay. I guess I can manage that. Hmm. You said... If they don't, then continue with the exercise. When you reach that point, you are ready to begin. Now you are going to push all that magical energy up through your pelvic area and into the pouch. Once it reaches the pouch and begins expanding its dimensions, you are done. Sounds totally platonic. I am ready. Good. Now keep that thought in your head as you continue pushing that magic energy out of your pelvis. Ooh, I can feel that magic energy moving. Yes, that's right, player. Concentrating the magic energy in your pelvis is key to casting spells. Do you feel it floating out of your body? Yeah, it's so cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm sure your parents will be very proud of you. Oh, well, actually, they think I'm hunting right now. Hunting? Is that what you're doing today? Well, it's alright then. I hope you find whatever you're looking for. Thanks. By the way, how much mana does it take to cast a spell? Mana depends on the type and complexity of this spell you are trying to cast. A simple Firebolt spell requires around 30 units of mana to complete. More complex spells such as Stone Pillar may require hundreds of mana. How many units of mana does that take? Plasma juice is similar to water. There's no limit to how much you can produce. You can produce as much as needed. Thanks. Sure thing. Uh, a Towik. Alright. I will do my best. And so I'm now on my way to become a more powerful mage. I head off to the city gates, where the gates guards let me pass without a problem. Plane. I am on a plane. Just some wheat. Maybe a stream. There is a slime here. I wonder what he wants. No, it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and cast my spell and see what happens. It might be nice if there was a monster nearby, but there isn't. He's a slime and a big one. Slime, I summon you. Nothing happens. I wonder if this is where I have to use my newfound spell. Pelvic exam. I'm about to try again, but suddenly I hear a voice from behind me. Stop! Huh? Huh? Who are you? Are you going to cause trouble? No, no, sir, I say. I just wanted to learn a new spell. Really? What kind of spell? Pelvic exam, I say. Oh, I know that spell. That spell will definitely come in handy in battle. Yes, please. Thank you. All right, follow me, the guard says, and heads toward Sumerium. Master Miriam, what's happening? It seems that your spell is popular. But you made it. You made it. You invented it. The guards want to teach you a few tricks. Thanks, but I'm still not sure I'm ready to cast that spell yet. Nah, that's fine. You should take it easy until you get stronger. Start to wonder if pelvic exam is actually a spell, or maybe just code for something else. But I'm already pretty strong, at least I think so. Oh, don't worry, you are getting there, but first you need to prepare yourself mentally. Now that your body and mana are ready, you need to relax your mind. You gonna give me another guided meditation? This time, you need to focus your thoughts on your pelvis. Yeah. I can feel that energy moving through my body. Keep that thought in your head as you continue pushing that magic energy out of your pelvis. Can't I use... Can't I just use, like, my eyes or my head? Like, my throat even? Or is it gonna be my whole body? Well, you can use any part of your body you want, player. You just need to imagine your body parts as you would normally do it in real life. Got it. But... I never do it in real life. What's my frame of reference? Question mark. Oh, God. frame of... You can use your brain, player. Remember, your body responds to your thoughts. If you feel like it's going to hurt, stop. And if you feel like you can't hold it any longer, stop. I think that sounds totally ridiculous. Well, thankfully, your brain doesn't give a shit what you think. Ah! Apparently... Okay. I fucking hate... Well, thankfully, your brain doesn't give a... what you think. Oh, really? Yes, that's why I love you. Now continue the exercise. Good. Now imagine that your mana is flowing up through your pelvis. Once it reaches the pouch, you're done. You imagine... You try to skip the middleman and just imagine the mana already in the pouch. Just like laying there, kind of congealing. Is that okay? Yeah, I guess so. Good. Now, keep that thought in your head as you continue pushing that magic energy out of your pelvis. You begin imagining a thick, like butter, just like a cylinder, just like slowly, just entering into the pouch. It coils like a little serpent, or like a yogurt. Think that your mom, no, that your the town mayor's daughter churns in the town square, and you just imagine it, just like you imagine the pouch, just like you can barely tie it. Oh, you just can't close it anymore. Yeah. Done? Am I done? That's right, player. Relax. Concentrate on relaxing your muscles and breathing deeply. Focus on each breath, and let the magic flow. I'm doing it. Excellent. I'm glad to see that you're learning. Now try to push the mana into the pouch. Yeah, this is cool. I feel it. It's on my body. Yep. And boy, and man, am I, I'm spent. Phew. Good job. There's no rush with the magic, though. Take your time. Thanks, I will. There's one more thing I want to show you. Follow me outside. Okay. Now, I want you to visualize a big fire. And focus all your mana on that fire. Okay, I can do burning in my chest. Oh Jesus. And I'll see if I can picture it. I'll do it. Instead of my face. Heaving. Flames. And suddenly feel something strange happening to your chest and stomach. Your heart is pounding, and a wave of nausea is washing over you. What the fuck is happening? Let me see your license. Reach down to your hip, and your hand finds nothing but emptiness. You feel as if you've lost something very important. I'm sorry you're not ready to learn the spell yet. You'll need to practice it for at least a week. I'll practice you. And you lunge, trying to put the bag of holding, or pouch, magic pouch, all around her head. Oh, I'll take you to task, you for teaching me wrong. What? No, hey. How's that? Well, since your head's in the pouch, you might as well look around and see if there's the actual mana in there. I think you got the spell wrong. I'm not sure. I think you are. But you were doing just fine. I wasn't just fine. Because I wanted it to end, because I felt very weird doing it through my pelvis. I'm going to take you back inside. Fine. But first, there's something else you need to do. I think you're ready. Go and sit in the ground. Alright. Seems a little... Ramp this up to 127. I quickly remove... Wait, what? Good, let's sit on the ground. Two of us head inside. As soon as we get to the living room, I hear Miriam say, "Get undressed." Wait, why? I quickly remove my robe, and then unbutton my pants, releasing... What? You...
quickly imagine it turning into a big basilisk. There we go. I'm really confused now. But I slowly slip off all my clothes, and as soon as my clothes hit the floor, there's another scream from outside, and then an angry roar. Suddenly there's a crash, the door bursts open, followed by a flurry of footsteps. My basilisk is at the ready, complete with its stony gaze. Really, you chose that one. You chose that gaze. Of all the gaze. It's not just one of those weirdos. It's Aunt Miriam, who's carrying a large sword. And her daughter, what? Where'd she come from? She's in armor and a helmet and some weird clothes that make no sense. Your basilisk attempts making eye contact at everyone. What? And my basilisk keeps asking me when can I turn them into stone. Basilisk. Miriam ignores me and tells me to do it anyway. I close my eyes and begin concentrating on the image of my peanut. I then try to imagine it as a full-fledged Medusa, with a bow and arrow and everything, and sneaky hair, and all those snakes, they can make things into stones. Just try to go stone. If I can turn these things on stone, I'm still working on this thing. You know you can try again. You'll figure it out. Okay, it's go time. You try to imagine really hard since now it's out there now. You try to imagine all that mana going through your pelvis, and like doing things like stone people, and so you try to imagine all these stones, in quick succession, just like pelting and breaking and smashing. All you have to be to the stones, and that's all you just try your imagination, and you think of that stuff as fast as you can, and and it might work, and then it will become, and your body will not feel stopped. You suddenly feel weight and an abrasive burning, and just like jets of a vortex flowing through your pelvis areas, and you close your eyes, and the next thing you know, you hear clatters and groans and all that, and you open your eyes. To see that your mother's daughter has turned into an ice statue. It falls to the ground, frozen. My mother's daughter. You mean my sister? The end of chapter 1. Chapter 2. You are alone again as usual. Your thoughts race as you try to figure out how this story could have gotten this weird. Well, it began with an unfortunately named spell. Period. My aunt told me I would need to use a magical item called a bag of holding to store all my items, and practice a few spells in order to save up enough money for the rest of my journey. Which I've decided is through a land infested with dragons, evil warlocks, and grabby mentors who thought you thought they were your mentors, but actually they wanted your mana, and tried to get it from you, and you wouldn't let them, and then it turned out they're not mentors at all. All the wizards who didn't like you, so now you're walking around with your bag of holding, which is shaped like a wizard's hat, because your bag of holding is magic. Moral of this. Always keep a notebook handy when practicing any new spell. Also, if anyone finds my bag of holding, it's yours, and you can do whatever the fuck they want with it. This was just a test. Now you're headed to the lands far, far away, and the adventure begins, and I'm gonna go to bed. I haven't really committed too much. Am I my own listener? This whole time? Have I been my own listener this whole time? Good night.